Having eye-catching slides is optimal for retaining your audience's attention. Now, super slides can be sometimes difficult to make, but with the help of designer, you can make it even more better and elevate how amazing your slides look. So for example, there are some slides here which have already been pre-made with designer. And what we're going to do is I'm going to show you how you can change these slides to match your company's branding, a client company's branding, or any other changes you can make to these slides to elevate their quality. So as you can see here, we have text in the standard Calibri across all these slides. And what we can do if, say, our company's branding was in Avenir, as an example, we can replace all these fonts existing with Avenir. And the way we do that is by going to replace and clicking the drop down, and then there will be this replace fonts. Now select the font you want to replace and then what you want to replace it with. So I'm just going to type it in Avenir, or just click A and search for the font I want to replace it with. And let's say I want to replace it with Avenir Next LT Pro. So I'm going to hit replace, then select the next font, hit replace, and the last font, and hit replace. And as you see, that's made some changes to fonts on the slide. And as you see now on this slide, for example, the how we learn is a lot more prominent than over here. Like you can see the actual gap between the out of orders of the word and letters. So it's a bit more powerful, for example. Now, as you see here, there are obviously some difficulties in the fact that obviously the word challenges is now running over onto another line. We can obviously change that, and we could make it smaller, for example, to make it match, but now it just isn't as powerful against this. So what we're going to do is we're going to just move this a couple points to the right. And what we're going to do here is I'm just going to make this a little bit bigger, and we're going to increase the shape size from 10.92, and we're just going to increase it slightly so the word challenges is all on one line. So that's 12.49, as you can see. Now, obviously, these top and bottom ones are out of kilter with the word challenges. Now, what you could do is go to arrange and click selection pane. And we're then going to select the straight connector 9, and we're going to go to shape format. And before we can actually edit it, we need to right click and select unlock. Now we remember this is 12.49. Now if we come back here and we enter in 12.49 into our width, you can see it's now extended the length. Then right click and click lock again, and we'll do the same thing to our straight connector 11. Now, let's say you need to add in a bit of company branding, and your company's branding is, say, a yellow color or a pink. That's easy. You can get that into these straight line connectors. Now, if I click on one and hold Control and click on the other, we'll go to Shape Outline. And if we say our company's branding is yellow, you can see now the yellow theme is transparently added onto the connectors. Now, as you can see here, we have a relatively modern slide, and then this smart art which doesn't look quite as neatly designed. Now, what we can do here is we can also change the smart art design by going to smart art design in our ribbon, and we can choose a different layout. And I'm going to click more layouts. And here what we're going to do is we are going to choose list, and I'm just going to go for a basic list, just so we get it out of that sort of weird blockiness. And what I'm going to do here is going to put in our font first of all, and I'm going to put black text. Now we're going to go back to Smart Design, and as you can see, we can change the colors which are being shown. And what we're going to choose is we're going to choose one of these yellows as per our branding earlier on. And as you see, we've got learn from experience 70, peer-to-peer experience 20, formal learning 10. And as you see, it's all on one line. But what we can do with this smart art is if we remove the colon and space and hold shift and hit enter, we can then create that underneath, or what we can do is hit enter and then hit tab, and we can do that for each one. And on those we can also remove the bullets. So here's what we're going to do. I'm just going to select this 70, hold control and select 20, and the same for the 10. Now we're going to go back to home and undo the bullets, and what we're going to do is we're going to put them centered. Not only that, we're going to make those numbers bold, and alongside that we're going to make them italicized. And this might be relevant to our branding, that we have this italicized text, and we're just going to make the title bold. And as you see, it's a complete transformation when you apply a bit of additional care and some slight tweaking of adding in your own color themes relevant to your brand and identity, and that you can make these slides go from a 7 and 8 to a 10 just so quickly and so easily. And as you see here, we have something even more different, where we've already got dark grey, like looming clouds in a thunderstorm sort of coloring, and we want to bring a bit more brightness to this. What we can do here is we can select the rectangle, which is the top bit, and as you see, it's got a white marker on top, which indicates that the item is locked in place. And what we can do is we can end up filling that into, say, a light yellow. And as you see, we have some content placeholders. And as you see, I'm going to just make this a dark yellow, just so we have that visible. And I'm going to make this slightly different. We're gonna put the word cons in the middle, and we're gonna drop the bullet, and we're gonna make it bold and increase it by one size. And the same for pros. And as you see, it now looks slightly different to what we had previously. Now, sometimes you will get pieces which look like this, which you can't select. Even if we select the straight anything else, you see you can't select the background. No problem. Go to right click and click format background. And we're going to change it from this dark grey. We're going to change it to a dark yellow. Now, as you see, this has brought across the branding that we want of our yellow tint, whilst also reserving our original thoughts. And if we change our straight connector, for example, I'm just going to do it to this bright yellow to make it stand out the division between our pros and cons. And as you see, we have a title, and this box is white and it has a grey outline, we can eliminate that by doing a bright yellow, which doesn't look quite right. So I'm going to change it to a slightly darker yellow. And as you see, we've gone from a dark grey slide and elevated the content into bringing it into our branding of yellow, as we mentioned earlier on. And now it's just little tweaks like these that can really add a bit of personality and touch to your slides, and also contain and bring forward that consistent design. Now you can also add in your company's logos and relevant content into your slide decks by default. So I will show you that now. Now, as you can see on the slide, I have added, say, our company logo. And what we can do is we can lock it in place so it's there on the slide and no one can move it. However, there is a better way you can also do that for your brand and your slides. So I'm just going to unlock that and I'm just going to copy that. Now, if you go to View and click Slide Master, this will take you to a master copy of all the slides within the presentation which you can add. And we're just going to scroll all the way up to our main slide 1. And what we're going to do is we're just going to add this in the top right or bottom left, wherever you prefer. I'm just going to stick it in the bottom left. And as you see, as we go through, it's now sitting there in the bottom left. Now, if I click Close Master View, as you can see, that is now reflected onto the slides. On some it's visible, such as slide 4 and slide 6, but then on others it's not as visible, such as slide 5. Now this is because there is an additional background here. So if I select rectangle A and click delete, you can now see it is visible. And if we go onto a new slide and let's say I want to create a section and header, you can see it is there ready and no one can click on it to remove it. And now this is how you can improve your own slides. Stay tuned for more powerful PowerPoint.